how to make a fly with buttons look like this. It's of course one of those things that's often used in jeans, but now we got it in a little thinner fabric. Because of that, I placed some interlining. Now I got here my left and my right. This one is a top, that's the one ending up here. This one where we have a little extra is the bottom one, because it is important that we have some displacement down here, so it closed, so it's not just like that, that it's actually closed. So here I made a small notch telling me this is the center front, which is in here because it's with seam allowance, and here center front is 1 centimeter in, because there's just 1 centimeter of seam allowance all the way. Because of this fabric, I have on all the pieces, small pieces, I put some interlining. First of all, we got the facing for the front, which is this one with interlining, goes here. That's for this piece here. Then we got this one, that's for the buttonholes, so that's the loose piece here, goes here. And then the other one is where the buttons are, that's this one, that goes here. But let's get started. First of all, it's folded like this, so it's prepared for overlock. So I fold it, and as I said, it is for the buttons, and here it's supposed to be overlocked. Then I got this one, which is supposed to be overlocked here as well, so in the curve. Now got this one, here I got a notch in both ends, and then I fold it like this in the middle, right against right, and stitch it 1 centimeter at just one end. And then I can turn the right side out, and I got the piece for buttons. Here I'm also now overlocking everything together. Of course this could have had a shape, now I've just chosen a straight one. That was for here. Then it's overlocking here and overlocking just in the crotch. I'll do that. Now it's overlocked. My overlock is not as good as it could be, but at the moment it's okay. So now this one goes over here, and that's here, and this one. First of all, I start with my facing. I place that right against right here, like this. I've got a small notch here, so I'm only sewing to that notch, which is here, so it's approximately 1 centimeter below. Now stitching this 1 centimeter, now we've got the facing done like this, and now it's time to put the two pieces together like this. Make sure you arrange it so it's still straight, you're not going to drag it in any position like this. Now I'm stitch it from this side where I can see my stitching, but remember to fold this bag because that's not supposed to be attached up here, the centimetre that was sticking out. Now I'm stitching here 1 centimetre from the last stitch up here. And this is the crotch I'm doing now. And you see, now it's possible, because I've done it like that, it's possible to get this thing to the bag without any alt foldings. Now it's a super smart idea to iron, but before doing that I want to attach this side where the buttons are, so I start doing that exactly the same. This time I stitch it here 1 centimetre and I stitch it all the way, because then it's possible to cover afterwards. So I stitch it all the way in this extra piece here. You see it fits here. So 1 centimetre again. Now it's brilliant to do some ironing, so I'll do that. Now you can see it definitely looked like a fly, but we need the piece with the buttonholes. Before doing that I want to do a top stitching here, 2 millimetre from the edge. Like that, and of course I can do a top stitching here as well, and I'm doing that now because later it's going to be more complicated. Make sure you're only stitching in the top layer, so do that again, 2 millimetre from the edge. Okay, now we can put this aside because now we've got to prepare our buttonholes. You've got to decide where you want your buttons. If I just, I'm not making perhaps as many as normal, but I'll just make 3 like this, and in this case it's going to be here. Remember 1 centimetre is going away, so probably a little bit lower, like this. Then I want to start my buttonholes here. I just mark it like this now. Later it'll be possible for you to see something about buttonholes in general, like this. So now it's just making your buttonholes here. What I'm doing now I think is a little sloppy, but that's better. And do my buttonhole. Now make my buttonholes, and I cut it open. When you do that, make sure you're not doing it all in one. Do it from side to the center, and then from side to the center. In this case, you're sure you're not spoiling your buttonhole, because as you can see mine is a little hard to cut the fabric, and that would be horrible if I just cut my things in pieces. Of course it's easy to cut a new one of this small thing, but if it were a blouse and that was the last thing that I had to do, then I'd probably be a little bit irritated. Now I've got it here, my buttonholes. Now turn this over, open up, because this has to be placed here. As you can see, it's a little bit shorter than the one below, but it's in line. So start stitching just to attach it so it's easy to work with. And you could say, why didn't you do that before attaching it to the front? It's because I want to make sure it is displaced just a little bit. So like that, open up, and then just attaching all these together. Now you see, when it's attached, oh my god, I hate all these loose threads. So if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I'm cutting all the time. Here, another one. Let's get rid of it like that. Now you see we suddenly got our buttonholes, but if we don't do anything, it will just stand like this if you're sitting down. Now I don't like that, so I open up again. Now I open up like this and make a small stitching between my buttonholes, not all the way, just a part of the way. And again here. Some loose threads, and we have got it all ready to do the top stitching, because now you see it's in these kind of small pockets. Now I arrange it. I had, as I said in the beginning, a small notch here which is my center front, and this were the center front as well, so I've got to place those two upon each other. Of course you can put a small pin just to make sure it stays, because now we've got to do the top stitching, and the top stitching are done from the right, and this requires a zipper foot because it's easier. Now one thing that's super important is that you get rid of this, because we don't want it to be stitched in there. So I open up, like this, and now do my stitching. Now it's easy with this one because I can see through the fabric, but anyhow you can always do a drawing with a piece of chalk. That might be a good idea. And you see, now you got it like this. That's teasing me. I think I'll do it like this, and then I'll do the bottom part afterwards. So if you've got the same problem as me, it's too thick, do it like this, but start a little bit up and do your second stitching. can see a small piece is missing down here, but we'll do that in a second, because now I close it, place a pin and do the last stitching, and something will happen in a second, because now I don't consider this back side, I just leave it as it is. Like this, because now it's attached a little bit. Now it's done. Normally, because you don't want this like that, and then the bottoms are placed here, then you will have it like that, and you will make a bar tack here. A bar tack is a super small zigzag. So I just do a small bar tack here, change the foot because then it's easier. Here, through all layers. And you've got this here. And then you see there is a little slip here. That's the place where a bar tack is made as well. So do one here as well. Bar tacks are made at places where it can be broken. That means opening up can easily break the fly. But now it is secured here, and when we got a waistband, we got here our fly with buttons. So it's not as complicated as you think. Did you like what you just seen, and do you want to learn more? Then subscribe. I'll constantly develop and upload new things, all based upon the professional way of sewing. All the best from me, and good luck with your work.